I think my determination and my work ethic separates me from others my age simply because of how hard I'm willing to work, how much I care for my goals and my objectives. And even with the asthma, I'd love to see what I could do. You know, I would run until I would almost pass out. My last season, I raced every race, and it was slow every time in my regards. But even through that, I continued to run. There was not a day where I quit or I gave up, but it's my determination and my work ethic that I'm willing to keep going. Even when, against all odds, even when there's no chance or when there seems like there's no chance. It's the hope and the drive, the desire to succeed. I'm gonna go the extra mile.
My name is Matthew Porter. I'm a junior at Brentwood Academy, and I run cross country and track.
Matthew, he's a very shy child.
When he was born, actually, he stopped breathing twice in the hospital, and they had to fully resuscitate him. It was very scary, you know, brand new baby, and, you know, he's turning blue in your arms. Pretty early on, he was diagnosed with asthma and having problems breathing.
He would have really bad attacks. I mean, like where he would be in the middle of the night, we'd have to get up and put that machine on his face, and he's breathing on it. You know, a little 3-year-old kid doing that. It's kind of heartbreaking, and you're a little worried about him.
I learned at an early age that I wanted to do a sport that was active. And so that's when I picked up soccer.
Doctors had said it's a good way to try to help build his lungs. He said, well, you know, that's good for me, let's try to do it.
It was fun to run around, and I was pretty good at it, and me and my brother, Bradley, combined, made a good team.
We tried t-ball. He didn't really like t-ball. We got through one season of that. I was the coach, and it was a rough season to get him through.
He would literally go out in the outfield and just sit down, not even just put his glove next to him, just sit down, wait until it's his turn to come back in and, you know, get a snack.
I didn't like it at all. I just hated standing still. Cross country was the first sport of running that I got into. It was just an hour after school. It was an active sport. I raced 4 times in a year. As I got older, the distance increased in those races. It was definitely a challenge with asthma. I would have to take my inhaler.
It was kind of cute. You know, he'd take a little before he'd go run his run, and then he'd come back and he'd have to do it again to open his lungs back up.
It wasn't fun, but I enjoyed competing. And when I had run AAU Junior Olympic Games and medaled there, I realized that, okay, I need to stop playing soccer and just focus on running going into high school. In 8th grade, I raced against a lot of the guys at the school, and they were dominant. I mean, they would sweep every meet. I would break up that, though. I got 2nd place, and they went 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Matthew came to Brentwood Academy as a freshman, and when he came in, we knew he was a good runner. He had a nice impact on our team even as a freshman.
All across the line on a cross-country race, there's like 300 people, and I'm the shortest guy there. But through my size and through my strength, too, I'm able to run up the hills faster, to run turns faster.
This year was our 3rd state championship since Matthew has been on the team. So his freshman, sophomore, and now junior year in cross country, we won the state. And in track, it has been the same way.
I remember one time after running like 50 laps around the gym, the nurse like stuck me in the freezer because I was so overheated and almost passed out.
Matthew has been elected our captain now 2 years in a row. I don't know that, at least since I've been coaching, that we've had a sophomore ever, you know, be elected captain.
I learned to really love challenging myself in all fields, not just running. In the classroom, I've always been one of the top students.
All right, Jack.
All right, so the plan was just to make sure that each of you had a little chance to get your feet wet with some of the comments that you might make about these two?
I would argue that FDR is continuing the progressive ideals of freedom and equality, and
if I could put together my all-career team, hand-pick them, Matthew would be in that class, and I've been teaching for 39 years.
I think what we see about him is he wants to provide his information, his role, and then draw it out of the other people.
where he does say that, okay, the government should be a little bit involved. I mean, do you guys remember?
I don't really check his grades on a regular basis. He'll come home with me in that car ride and tell me like, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed out, I have a 97, you know? And you're like, a 97 in the class? I mean, it's like, you're doing great. What are you stressing about?
I love to push and just to see what I can do. And my current GPA is a 4.18.
When I listen to these kids talk about their dreams, we'll talk about Hollywood or Broadway or the SEC. Occasionally you will get somebody like Matthew who comes along, because Matthew's dream is to go to one of the service academies.
I think that by seeing my brother and my grandpa and my uncle who are in the service, I'm attracted to that lifestyle. I love discipline and I love a regiment and schedule, and so attending a school like that seems the fit for me.
If he gets involved in something, he's definitely going to put his whole heart into it, and he's going to go make those fuel bags and donate them, or donate his time to other runners and be a mentor for younger kids when they need help.
I love helping out with NYA, the track club, and other track clubs just because of how much I would appreciate it when I was in middle school. There was a point where I was doing workouts by myself, and it was really tough. The ability to look up to someone and have a role model is huge. And I love the sport, and I love to give back, and I love to see kids run fast times. And it's always great to see them look up to me, and not out of pride for myself, but you know, I like helping them and seeing them grow.
How are you guys feeling? Do you feel good? Yeah. Are you loose? Yes. Okay.
Whether that's the classroom or whether that's at practice, I think he's always been a boy that has this deep faith, but I think he's learned to trust that and rely on that.
And I know that you're faster than almost everybody.
I try and make my faith the center of my life, and so it's not about the running for me, it's not about the academics, it's not about where I go to school or my job, but it's in whatever I'm doing, that I'm doing it for God's glory.
Okay, I'll trade you this for those two red ones.
My parents, they are so supportive of what I do, and they're supportive of my faith, and they're supportive of my other siblings too.
We'll give you a brownie if you give us the yellow.
Ooh, a brownie.
A brownie!
Oh.
St. Charles, who has
That's
it?
me. $10, girl.
Every child that I have is a gift from God, and they have their own talents, and they're going to be amazing in their own ways. And I just try and celebrate that and let them know that we're family. We support each other. Nope, never mind, no deal.
The relationship between my older brother and my younger siblings is very strong. And while there are certainly tough times, I think through those tough times we end up growing closer to one another.
26.
Oh my God. Can you make 26, Alan?
Yes.
Chance to Illinois Ave.
Being awarded the MaxPreps Athlete of the Month award was very surprising to me.
We went and read and looked up some of the other winners, and I'm just shocked that he made it.
It meant a lot to me, not just because I was receiving an award. I don't like all the attention, and I try and stay humble, but just that all my work and my efforts to help other people and to lead and to challenge myself have come to fruition, and that other people outside of my school, outside of my city, outside of my state notice that.